using the chat functionality. Again, if there's any technical issues as well, if you can't hear me, if you find the screen slows down, anything like that, then again, please just contact me using that. So let's move over to LinkedIn. So we've got the LinkedIn screen here. Pretty straightforward. This is your standard LinkedIn screen. This is the home page with your feed. There's two ways you can search on LinkedIn. You can either search within the search bar at the top. So if I wanted to find someone who was a finance director for Diageo, just for example, then I could just type in finance director of Diageo in the top of the bar. I can hit return. Okay, then it will bring me any results that come back, and then I can then start filtering down. So I could look, it automatically will go to your whole network. If I wanted to add in a location here, I could add in, say, Glasgow, United Kingdom, just to filter it down a little bit further. Any current company. So when you search in that bar, it's actually literally looking across the whole person's profile. It's not being specific with regards to their current employer. It's not being specific with regards to their current job title. It's not a very specific search, but it is a very good quick search to do. If you know maybe the person that you're looking for, if you know what their name is, or if you want to deliberately keep your search open, because it may be that, say, your prospect in this case is anyone who's been a finance director for within the FMCG industry, so you're using Diageo as a target company. So this would give you people who have been, finance director or at a finance director level within that industry. So we can see here we've got people from the packaging containers industry, automotive industry, within consumer goods, within, say, accounting and that type of thing. So it's a nice broad search, not very specific, quite pretty, but can be a good starting point for any search. However, 9 times out of 10, what I want to do though is start with an advanced search. Okay, so I'm just going to click on the advanced search button just now. So I'm just having a slight challenge getting to that button because of the way the screen's laid out now. And when I click on the advanced search, the advanced people search button, then I'm getting a lot more options within here. Now, I do have a certain level of a LinkedIn account. I've got, I think it's Talent Plus or something like that. I think I pay about £60 or £70 a month for this one, which does open up some of the filters. So it does let me see people who are members of the groups that I'm a member of. I'm going to show you trick about that though in a second that lets me see people who are in specific groups without me being a member. I'll show you a tick about that shortly. Years of experience, functions, seniority, these are all available to me because I've paid for this premium membership. Okay, so you might not have some of these on the right hand side available to you. You will have on the left hand side, you'll have relationships, so first connections, so people who you're directly connected with. Second connections, people who are connected to your connections. Group members, people who are within the same groups as you. And third, plus everyone else, and people who are outside your network. With a normal membership on LinkedIn, if you select third plus everyone else, unless that person has made their profile available to everyone, then you probably won't be able to see the name of the person who's in your third degree network. But I'm going to show you a little technique for uncovering those names in a minute. You've got location, current company, industry, past company, school, profile, language, non-profit interests. I generally don't use, the only part of this screen then I'll generally use is the relationship part. The rest I actually use for this screen here. Oops, sorry, beg pardon. It's just moved away from that. So just go back. So we've got keywords. That's keywords within profile. First name, last name. Title. As soon as I populate title, so say I was searching for finance manager, then it gives me the option for current or past. I'll change that just now to current. If I want to put in any company, then I can do that there. School, if you want to check what university that they've went to, bear in mind it's American terminology here. Locate in or near, so I could do anywhere if I wanted, so that will search worldwide, or I can do located in or near United Kingdom, and in this case I'm going to use postcode, so I'm going to do 50 miles from our postcode here in the office. Okay. and then I can start looking at some other options. So I've got Finance Manager. To say that I wanted somebody who had, say I was selling an IT service, and say it was specifically for finance managers who had responsibility for IT, then I could do things like I could search for IT. But bear in mind, IT could have some other variables as well. So what I can start thinking about doing is using ands, ors, and nots. Okay, if you can bear with me a second, what I'm going to do is just bring up. I'm just going to go into Google Images. 1 second. And I'm just going to show you an example of and, or, not. Bear with me. Just bring this up, it's often quite good to have a visual. So and or not is what we're talking about when we mean Boolean. Okay, this is Boolean logic. If you've worked in recruitment before, then you probably have an understanding of and or not, or if you've used any complex database where you're doing free text searches within it, then you'll probably have a good understanding of what and, or, and not means. An and statement is when I want to search for more than one thing within a database, and I want it to return all of the results that contain all of the phrases or words that I'm searching for. So an example could be if I was searching on a database for cats and dogs, then every result that comes back would contain, all the pages that would come back would contain either cats or dogs, or both. Would contain both cats and dogs within the search results. If I search an or, if I did cats or dogs, then it would bring me back pages that have just got cats on the, bring me back results that have just got the cats on the page, and it would bring me back results that have just got the word dogs on the page. And if I wanted to use a not, then say if I wanted to search for cats, not Persians, then it will bring me back pages that contain the word cat, but it won't bring me back that contain any pages that contain the word Persian, so it would exclude, for example, Persian cats completely from that search results. Okay, so that's and. Or 3 examples again. Our and is cats and dogs. That will bring back pages that contain both the word cat and both the word dogs. The or would be cats or dogs, so we bring back pages that have got just the word cat or just the word dogs. And then we've got our not, and that would be cats, not Persian, so it will bring me back results that contain the word cat but doesn't contain the word Persian. The other time you might remember this is if you've used any of the databases when you've maybe been at university, certainly over the past 20 years, 25 years, most universities have databases in place that support this type of function as well. So that might be something where you remember this from. So how could we use that within LinkedIn? Well, the good thing is that LinkedIn does actually support and, or, and not within its advanced people search function. So that's really, really useful for when you want to include more than one type of person or more than one type of skill set. It's really, really useful when you want to exclude a certain type of skill set or a certain type of person, or where you've got lots and lots of different alternative types of skill sets, or you want the person to contain more than one. So in our case here for IT, then what I could do, say I was searching for finance managers who had IT. So it could be IT, and then I could use my or. So I could type in or. And or does any of the operators that you're putting in and or not, they do have to be in capitals. So I can type in IT, or I could say information technology, or the information systems, or I'll just say business intelligence. Sometimes that's an IT related thing. So I've got 4 different things there. So each profile that's returned within my search will contain either IT or information technology or information systems or business intelligence. Every single one of the current job titles will include the word finance and include the word manager. Okay. Now say I wanted just people who had the exact job title finance manager within there, then the way I can do that is by putting speech marks before and at the end of the phrase. Now, it might bring back things like the group finance manager or finance manager services or something like that within the job title. Okay, so it won't exclude words that are before finance and after manager. Okay, but it wouldn't bring back things like finance and systems manager. So bear that in mind. When you do this, it can be quite useful when you put in the speech marks, but it can also be quite restrictive. So I always recommend trying both, or at least just keeping it open to begin with. I want that as the current job title, but I can change that to current, current or past, past or past not current. So if you wanted somebody who was previously a finance manager at a company, then you can do that search. I've set my geography for 50 miles of Glasgow. I hit search. Okay, and that brings me back 55 results. And what I can see here is that everyone within this search has got finance and manager within their current job title. I'm just actually going to delete Glasgow from that. It's picked up Glasgow from that initial search. So the results, there we go. So it's actually increased it now to 177. And that's the difference between using a postcode in your searches and, if you remember, using the location that I had initially selected within the advanced search. I always recommend that you use postcodes. However, for some areas, if you are working somewhere or looking for leads somewhere that is maybe a bit out in the back and beyond, sometimes the postcodes aren't particularly reliable on LinkedIn, so always just double check your distances if that's a critical factor in generating leads. If I wanted to change that search just to include finance manager, then I can do that quite easily, as I said, by putting in the speech marks, hitting search, and it's almost half the number of results. Okay, so it's brought it down from 177 to 96. Okay, and what I can see here is that everyone contains finance manager. Okay, and their current job, finance manager, finance manager, finance manager. Okay. Now, say I wanted to use a not, say I only wanted finance managers for whatever reason, say it was people, I didn't want people who were CIMA qualified finance managers, so say there was a particular reason that you wanted to target people who were ACCA or ACA or Chartered Accountants, then what I could do is do not, I could do, sorry, ACCA or ACA or CA, just for example. I'm then going to put that in brackets because I want those terms to be separate. I want LinkedIn to treat that set of terms separately from anything else that I put into the search. And then do not CIMA. Okay, for example, you can see what difference that makes in the results. Okay, and I've taken away the IT requirement here, so I can see there that actually it's brought up 106 results for finance manager within 50 miles of Glasgow that contain ECCA or CCA or CA, not CIMA. Okay, so that's an example of how I can use not. If you're generating a lead, for example, it could be, you know, things. Another example could be something like, say it was FMCG, but not drinks, for example. So you could do not drink or drinks or soft drinks or do soft. No, it should be okay because I've already got drinks or alcohol. Oops. Just for example. So but then I can expand it even more by doing FMCG or consumer goods as a phrase, just for example. Okay, again, I'm putting in the brackets just so that LinkedIn treats all these search terms differently. I can hit return. Okay, and that's brought back 27 results for people with FMCG or consumer goods who don't contain the word drink or drinks or alcohol within the search results. Once I've got the search results, then I can scroll down and I can then start to look through the results in a bit more detail. So say I wanted to see who were my second connections, so who are connected to the people that I'm connected with. Then I can tick on the second connections and it's going to filter there. And then it's going to tell me who my shared connections are. So say I did want to target somebody who was working at Editing Group, then it could be this person here. I could say, okay, I've got one shared connection with that person. It's the shared connection is this person. So there could be an opportunity for a warmer lead to that to connect to that person. Okay, you could use the Get Introduced facility there if you knew that person very well, and send them a note saying, could you introduce me? Do you know this person? However, please bear in mind that the people, the majority of people on LinkedIn, I think we ran a poll, I can't remember the exact figure off the top of my head, but around the 75–80% mark of people would connect with people that they don't know on LinkedIn. Okay, so bear in mind, just because someone's connected, they might not know that person anyway. So just do bear that in mind. I can filter by location a bit further, so say, okay, I only wanted the people who lived in Edinburgh or who had the location on the profile as Edinburgh. Can filter by current company, industry, past company. Lots and lots of different filtering options once you've actually run your search. Okay. Great, so that's a bit about using the advanced search. It's a bit about using and, or, and not. Okay. So if I've got a search, so say that I think to myself, okay, this is a really, really powerful search. I really, really like this search. I'm going to go back just to my IT search because it was giving me more results. Okay, if I like that search, then what I can then do is I can save that search. And to save that search, you've got at the right-hand side the Save Search button. You click on Save Search. It tells you what the type of search you're saving is. So in this case, it's people, and it lets you do this for the other type of searches as well. So if you were doing a job search, a company search, a group search, universities, that kind of stuff, it lets you do the same thing. Okay, it lets you then set an alert. Now you don't have to get an alert for these Save Search results, but you can set it to daily, weekly, or monthly. Okay, I generally set it to weekly for it. And then I hit the green tick, the green tick. Okay, so what that's going to do is on a weekly basis, it's going to send an alert to you about any new person, new individual on the search that matches that criteria. I've just got a question here, if you bear with me, I'm just going to check. Hi Helen, I've just received your question, thank you very much for that. No, you don't need to have a premium account to access the Advanced Search facility. The Advanced Search is available if you're using either a free account or a premium account or a LinkedIn Recruiter license. Okay? No problem at all. So we've got the Save Search. As I say, we'll get an alert. That alert will come through by email through to the address that you've got registered against your LinkedIn account. Bear in mind you can have multiple email addresses registered to your account as well. Okay, so just to cover that again, so you have to run your search first of all. Once you're happy with that search, you click on Save Search. And you can actually call it anything you want anyway. It doesn't have to retain that part. I could change that to Finance Managers IT Related, for example, and then hit Save, and it'll save that. You can have 10 people searches available to you. Okay. Perfect. So that's the Save Search. So I highly recommend you use the Save Search. So as I said, that's one of the whole points in using LinkedIn. Make LinkedIn do the work for you. Okay, make it as easy as possible. Okay, for you to do your job. You don't have to run every new search, exactly. Every new search every time you want to run a fresh search. So make it do the hard work for you. Although I do recommend that you check them every now and again just to make sure that they are still working and still bringing back your search results. Every search takes a little bit of trial and error just to get it exactly right. So just don't let it run. Just keep an eye on it and make sure that it is bringing you back the results that you're looking for. If it doesn't bring back any results, make an adjustment and change it. Perfect. There's one thing, a couple other things I just want to show you now. For talking sake, and I'm going to use my profile as just an example of this. Just before we talk on to, or move on to how you would actually approach people using LinkedIn, I want to highlight just another couple of ways that you could potentially approach people on LinkedIn. I'm just going to go into my settings. I use the Google Chrome browser. It's what I highly recommend that you use for any searching. Okay, it's my own personal favourite. If you are using the Google Chrome browser, then there's actually an extension, which I'm just going to highlight here, called 360 Social. Okay, and what you can see here is that the description of it is discover people's online footprint in seconds. Okay, I'm just going to enable this toolbar just now. I had it disabled. So I was doing some testing earlier on. And what this does is it takes the profile that you're looking at on LinkedIn and it will attempt to cross-reference that profile against any other social media sites and online sources that it finds. Okay, this can be really, really useful if you're not too keen, say, on approaching people through LinkedIn, which some people aren't. It's also particularly useful if you use Twitter quite a lot as well, so if you wanted to start building a relationship with someone on Twitter. So to use it, I've enabled it, and what you'll see now is over the right-hand side of the screen, there's a little icon that says 360. Okay, I can click on that icon when I'm in a profile. And what you can see there for me is it's actually picked up information from my profile, but it's also cross-referenced me against the other social media sites that I'm on. Now, the nature of the job that I do means that I'm on pretty much every social media site known to mankind. So I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Google+, I'm on About Me, I'm on all these different things. But what this does is gives you the opportunity to perhaps engage with your prospect in a different medium. So if you are on Twitter, if you are active on Twitter, then you can go into Twitter. You could then follow that person or add them to a list on Twitter. Okay, and as I said earlier on, please do follow me on Twitter if you are active on Twitter. So don't just necessarily restrict your engagement to LinkedIn. There are different ways and other ways that might be more suitable and might be more appropriate. Okay. So, but if I do want to use LinkedIn now to approach, which is still a very valid way and a very, very effective way of generating prospects and generating new business opportunities, then how do we recommend you do it? I'm just going to go back to one of my searches here. I'm not going to invite myself, but say I did want to try and generate an opportunity via this person. Well, the first thing you want to do is you do want to invite that person to connect. You don't want to, however, just send a generic, I would like to connect with you message. Okay, you do want to tailor that message. Okay, make it a bit personal and include the reason why you want to connect with that person. Now, you are limited to 300 characters, so you need to keep it very, very brief in terms of what you're talking about. Okay, be honest about how, this reason, how do you know Lynn? So if you do know Lynn because she was a colleague or classmate, or we've done business together in the past, or as a friend, then fantastic. Okay, however, if you don't know Lynn, then you do use the other, and you want to try and find that person's email address if you can. Okay, you want to include that personal note, so it could be, okay, Dear Lynn, say it was an IT service that I was selling, then it could be Dear Lynn. I noticed that IT comes under your remit. I work within the business intelligence industry, just say, and we might have a useful conversation, something along those lines. In the meantime, I'd like to invite you to connect. Okay, you hit the send invitation button. Okay, and that will send that person an invitation to connect. Now, once you do reach your character limit, LinkedIn will warn you about it before you send. So I'm actually just going to copy and paste. Okay, so it's told me there I've exceeded the maximum length, and it does. It's quite good. It tells you how many you've exceeded it by. Okay, so it does let you see that. It does give you a warning, and then you send that invitation to connect. If that person then accepts that invitation to connect, then what to do once you've done that is send them a follow-up message, just going into a bit more reason, a bit more of an explanation as to why you've invited them to connect and why you might have that useful conversation. And again, keep it personal, keep it relevant, and refer to that person and that person's business specifically. What is the reason you want to do that? Why should they be interested in your opportunity? Why are they going to be interested in connecting with you? I've just got a question here that I'm just going to answer. I certainly can, Ines. I'll go back to 360 Social in a little minute for you, if you bear with me a moment, and I'll show you that again. Okay, so the important thing when you're connecting with someone, keep the message relevant, keep the message personal. Don't use the stock messaging that LinkedIn includes, and if they do connect with you, then make sure that you keep it personal and relevant, again with the follow-up message. Once that person has connected with you, then the chances are you will then also have access to their email once they've connected with you. A couple of ways you can access that, either through their profile, or once you've received this person has accepted your connection request message within your email. If you hit reply, then more often than not, their email address will be available to you. Okay. I'm just going to go back and show you how to use the Social 360 tool again, as there was a question about that. Again, I'm just going to use my profile as the example. So you can see here, it's once I'm on a profile, then the 360 button appears at the right-hand side of the screen. I can then click on that icon, and it will bring me up any other information that it finds against other social media networks, or any email addresses, sorry, I should have added, that it finds for the person as well. Okay, now to install the 360 Social extension, you do need to go into the Chrome extension store, which is very, very easy to find. In Google, if you just type in Chrome extension store, then it will take you straight in. Click on extensions, and then click on search the store. So I can type in 360 Social. Okay. Once I've done that, I can then click. I've got it installed already, but because if I didn't have it installed, then it would have this +3 button there, and then that would install it for you. Okay, we're slightly over time. If anybody's got any questions, please drop me a line just now on the question and answer tool. I do just want to show you one other thing that you can do, which might help you to generate leads and to find find people to engage with. Okay, there is unless you're the member of a group in LinkedIn, it's quite hard to see who the members of, and sometimes when you're generating new business, it can be quite challenging to actually get into some of the groups because they're locked down. There is a search though that you can run from Google, from the search engine, that will help you to identify members of a group. So I'm going to just use this example, the Researcher Forum, which is a group that I'm a member of. Okay, I'm just going to use that as an example in this case. I'm just going to go to the Google search engine. You can see there's a couple of questions coming up there, so I'll answer them in a second, just once I've done this. Now, if I want to identify who the members of that group is without being a member of that group, then I can use this search, which I'll send out to everyone shortly. So I can type in site, can then type colon, can then type in uk.linkedin.com. I can then type in the name of the group and put it into speech marks. And I can then hit logo, now type in logo. I can hit search. And because of the way that LinkedIn, the information from LinkedIn is indexed by the Google search engine, then that's going to bring up the members of that group who are in the UK. And it's going to let me see their profiles if I click on them. You don't even have to be a member of LinkedIn or have an account to do that. So I can see there, it's just bringing back everyone in the UK who's a member of that group. And it just uses a little glitch within the way that LinkedIn indexes the information. Okay, there will be access to the recording. I'll make sure that that happens for you and that gets sent out. That was one of the questions there that's just come up. Does anyone else have any other questions just now? Okay, well, as always, I'm available afterwards, so please drop me an email, make sure you're connected with me on LinkedIn or follow me on Twitter if you've got any questions. But otherwise, thank you very much indeed for your time. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday and have a great weekend. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, sorry, I've just got one last question there from Helen that's come up actually, which I'll be happy to answer. So bear with me a second, Helen. I'll just bring up an example there. Bear with me a second. So I'm going to run a search that will bring up somebody who is who's maybe got their name hidden from me. I'm just going to use a very silly example here because I know this example works to bring up someone. So I can see here that I've got someone here who hasn't uncovered their name. Now this does work for people who have not uncovered their name but who have also not made their surname available to me. Okay. And if I want to uncover that name, then what I can do is use a little trick. I can actually just select that person's name like this using the mouse down to where the industry finishes. I can then right click on that and then click on search Google for LinkedIn member. And what it's going to do is again use just a little glitch within the way that Google indexes the information from LinkedIn. And I can see here, I click on that profile, and that's the person. I can see there, that's exactly the person because their job title is blah, manager at blah, and that's unveiled that person's name as Bob the Builder. It is a very, very silly example, but it's one that I use that I know works. And you're able to do that for 9 out of 10 of profiles where the information is actually hidden. 9 out of 10 profiles on LinkedIn are public. That means 9 out of 10 are indexed by Google search engine, so you can use that little glitch to do that. If I click through onto this profile without doing that, then it's going to bring me up a message saying full profiles for members outside your network are available only in LinkedIn Recruiter. That's false. That's not correct. You can use that little search that I've just done. And as you can see, right as raining, you can now see that full profile. Okay. Great. No problem at all, Helen. That was a good question. Thank you very much for putting that through. thank you all very, very much indeed for your time, and I hope you all have a lovely weekend.